When I got my first full-time job in radio, I had already been on the air for 4 years.
People staring, people don't care.
My first job in radio was at a station called WBML. You know, really looking at it from my point of view, a lot of times when I start looking at old radio pictures, I get kind of depressed. The first full-time job is really important, sort of setting the pace for your entire career. Can you believe this is me? I know. I was lucky enough to have worked with a program director named Ken Crook. This guy was really a genius, and even better, he was great at dealing with people. Maybe this makes you feel better, knowing that, you know, even though I was young once, I'm still as stupid as I ever was. What I really liked about him, and what I learned from him, is we had these things called air check sessions. Now, an air check is when you listen to somebody's radio program, you take all the music out, and I play clips like that here.
Those are the Bee Gees, and you should be dancing. WBML News time is 7:55. WBML News presents Jess Branson.
What Ken Crook did that was so incredible, and what I learned from, is that he always would start the air check sessions with the things that I did right. He'd say, now, this is really great. This is major market stuff. This is exactly what we're looking for. And he'd build me up. And then he would say, now, there may be a couple of things that you want to work on. Anytime people want to make movies about a broken down southern town, they always shoot in Macon. This was 1974. I'd have been 20, going on 21. And Ken Crook left to go to a station up in Michigan. And suddenly, I found myself doing morning radio. This is me in the control room at 20 years old. Now, what you have to notice, look at what's missing. You know, we have racks of equipment that's missing. The microphone is barely hanging on by a thread. And a particular movie was shot here back in the 70s called Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. It starred Billy D. Williams, James Earl Jones, and Richard Pryor. One of the most memorable things to ever happen is the infamous copy machine story. I'm going to put a link to a movie clip in the
Doobaleedoo.
Ken Crook, who was do anything to get us noticed, decided to hire a husband-wife team to work Sunday afternoon. One of the little-known facts about Bingo Long was that originally it was scheduled to be directed by someone named Steven Spielberg, but unfortunately he was tied up with a movie named Jaws. So the Monday after the Sunday, when this dual team had worked over the weekends, Luann, Jan, somebody was trying to make a copy of something for an office meeting, and the copy machine wouldn't work. So since it was a rental, we call the company. The guy comes out, looks at the machine, and suddenly starts pulling out pieces of paper of nude bodies. I'm doing afternoons at WBML, where I have this commanding view over the city of Riverside Drive. WBML was built to be a show place, and the control room was right on the end. So as you're riding up Riverside Drive going inbound, you could see the disc jockey on the air. So, you know, these two windows were the control room, that was the newsroom, that was the production studio. They're shooting the movie in Macon, and I'm doing my afternoon show, and I can see out the windows and see all of Macon. Riverside Drive is a 6-lane highway, and so right in the middle of the street, going outbound towards Central City Park, is Richard Pryor walking down the road. Holy crap, that's Richard Pryor walking down the middle of Riverside Drive. It appears, well, it didn't appear, it wasn't second guessing, that our Sunday afternoon team had decided to copy themselves on the machine, and apparently the paper got jammed. I gotta be honest, that once you see something like a major movie star walking down the middle of the street of your town, every afternoon you're kind of watching to see who else is going to be walking down there. You know, a lot of people have stuck their face to the copy machine and done that sort of thing, but honest to God, they should have gone to a circus, because I don't know how they were able to balance like that on this machine.